And live. Yes, we're live. Excellent. For those of you online, I just told the class a few moments ago that this is actually the last lesson in 2020 for you guys, because when we come back, it will be January 4th. And then when we come back, we'll have 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 7, 8. We'll have 8 more class periods, and then it will be your final exam. Now, of those, actually, this is for the rest of you now, for those 8 class periods, 2 of them at least, I believe 2 of them at least, we will spend reviewing, which I believe will be the 20th and the 22nd, if my plan goes the way that I want it to. So in reality, those 8 class periods are now down to actual 6 class periods of instruction with 2 reviewing, and we'll get all this stuff in. Now, furthermore, before I leave here today, I will be assigning you a minor assessment in regards to some of the things that we've been doing with probability. Not so much the new stuff that we're doing right now, because I'm going to be getting into the binomial distribution today, but more along the lines of just an overall probability thing that we've been doing. It's going to be fun for me, not for you. First, I want to show you a video. Now, I've seen these videos online. They're called probability comparisons. You'll see what I mean. When you see it, you're like, oh, yeah, maybe I've seen one like that. Let me flip my screen over. Here we go. Hopefully there won't be an advertisement. So basically, they're going to show a talent that a human being can have. And I'm just going to show it to you first. Now, they're going to show the talent that a human being could have, but then they're also going to show the chance or the probability of a human being having such a talent. And they're going to start with the most likely for people to have, or the easiest for people to have. And then as it progresses down the line, they're going to show talents that less and less people have, and there being less and less of a chance of a human being having said talent. Oh, sorry. Here we go. So we're just starting with a brief video. But what I wanted to you guys to pay attention to were the topics that they're going to show. Like, for example, the first one is sing and pitch. Now, I'm not going to have you answer now, but I'm going to go back to the beginning of the video, and I want to go through them again just to kind of see, like, if anybody has some of the more lesser known talents. Hey, there's Andrew. I found him. He's right there. He's in the computer. Anyway, no, he went virtual for the week. I know. Yeah. Destiny does not wish you a happy birthday, Andrew. No, she's literally. Never mind. So watch this. Turn this up. So again, at the bottom, they're going to show you the talent, and at the top, they're going to show you the probability of having such a talent. And then it's going to get more and more in depth to the more rare talents. And of course, I'll go through these with you again in a moment. Yeah, right? I think these are people in the world. It might be people in the world. I'm not sure. Who have the ability, like, who know how to drive. Yeah. I can vibrate my eyes. Yeah. And you saw the Rubik's Cube. The Rubik's Cube is not as rare as you might think, Yeah, apparently 1 in 100. No. Well, it's a rare skill to have. I mean, comparatively to the ones before it.
Wait. Okay, like using your elbow. Like, what does your elbow have to be in?
It's just literally you put your tongue on your elbow.
But I can do that. That's weird. We have some pro games in our class.
Who is?
Donovan.
He is?
Yeah.
Is he really a pro gamer or is he a pretend pro gamer? He's a pretend. See, now it's getting pretty intense. You can see the probabilities. Now, again, just to give you an idea before we finish the last couple of things, when they say 1 in 23,000, they're basically saying, like, listen, if you were to randomly select someone from the population, mind you, randomly, if you were to randomly select someone from the population, you would let's say you randomly select 23,000 people. Logically, there should only be one of them that has this particular ability, is my point. I know. I don't even know why would you want to do that, but okay. Apparently, it's a thing. Now, I'm going to stop it right there. Oh, hold on. They actually do have a little blurb right here at the end with that. They say this guy, Al Herpin, was an American known as the man who never slept. He lived in Trenton, claimed to have never slept before. The supposed cause is unknown. Now, that's why it's 1 in 7.7 billion people, because that's how many people are on the planet.
Oh my God.
Yeah. I don't know.
That's crazy. Is he even alive? Is that man still alive?
Oh, that's good. Hold on. Al Herpin. I can look it up. Hold on. I can look it up. Al Herpin. Spell. Boom. Let's see. He died in 1947. Yeah. Yeah, there's a Wikipedia page about him.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, but like if you think about it, his days must have been really long. Because we spend like 3/4 of like half the day like sleeping. Like, some people sleep for like 12 hours.
Some people do sleep for a long time, like me personally. Like I've been surviving on about 5 hours of sleep for the past like 15 years. But that's me, you know. Actually, when I get like 8 hours of sleep, it's not good. My ideal amount of sleep is probably around like 6.5. You know, they say 8, but that's not the case for everybody. For example, what's average body temperature? 98.6 is the general knowledge piece of information that everyone has, like 98.6. That's average. But in reality, that's not the case. The reason why they believe it's 98.6 is because of a study done in the 1800s, where one guy from one town took the healthy body temperature of everyone within the town, 98.6, boom, and then it spread like wildfire, and that's literally what everyone thinks it is. It's 98.6. But in reality, the average of all human beings is like 98.2. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, but that just might be their normal body temperature, you know, and some people might naturally run a little bit hotter. I don't know. It depends. That's why, you know, it's kind of a crapshoot at that point, you know. I don't know. I think that's why they usually say, you know, you have to have like a temperature of like anything above 100.4 is considered like elevated or like having a fever or something like that, because nobody normally is up there. Yeah. I don't know. I mean, they might. I mean, think about it. If the average is, I'm going to draw a picture here. Bring it a marker. If the average is 98.2 or 98.6 or what have you, everyone falls on this normal curve. And you have some people who, let's just say 98.6 for the sake of, scientific community, whatever, I don't care. But then, depending on what the standard deviation is, as long as you fall within 2 standard deviations, you're fine. You're considered usual, so to speak. So I just wanted to show that. I found that, and I thought it was kind of cool. And you mentioned some of the talents that you had. I don't know, but I don't have any of the crazier talents. I have more along the lines of the more low-key talents. Like I can shake my eyes. I can solve a Rubik's Cube. It's pretty messed up. Oh, I can raise my eyebrows. Yeah. All right, all right. I'm doing it for the camera. I'm doing one at a time. You do one at a time? You do both? He's trying it. When I'm gonna get set up for what we're gonna be doing today. But when my son was 2 years old, 3 years old, stuff like that, at dinner, I would constantly make funny faces at him, and eventually he learned how to mess up his eyebrows because of me, because I kept on making faces at him, and he kept on trying to emulate them. I can just roll it into like a U shape. I know some people who can do cloverleaf. Yeah, I can't do it, but I've known people to do it. But anyway, so what I'm going to do today, ladies and gentlemen, for those of you in the chat as well that can hear me, hello there. I'm going to need those notebooks out and open. Chromebooks, no, not so much today. I am going to be assigning you something today, but I'm going to assign it before I leave the building. So no worries there. I'm not going to watch it in class today, but I also assigned you that Guess Who video. Yeah, I thought that was really interesting. Like, I don't know if y'all played like Guess Who back in the day. Yeah. I don't know. I just thought it was a really cool idea. And he actually went to his high school statistics teacher to kind of figure it out. Kind of nice. Oh, that hurt a lot. Ooh, goodness gracious. I just slammed my knee into a metal cabinet. That was fun. Hope I'm not bleeding. Okay. I want to pick up where we left off talking about my family. Today is the 22nd. I'm going to do this as a binomial distribution is what I'm going to be calling this. But I'm going to abbreviate binomial distribution. There we go. This marker is dead to me. That would have been amazing. Anyway, so I want to talk about my family and 4 kids. So the premise is this. My parents have 4 kids. Now, I know what the makeup of those kids are, boys and girls and things of that nature. But that doesn't matter for now. Let's just think about the concept of my parents are going to have 4 kids, no matter what. Let's just pretend. And what are the possible outcomes for those 4 kids? Now, I am actually going to write these out for the sake of argument and kind of separate them into categories. Now, first, you could have boy, 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 boy. Now, I'm going to separate that because that's all boys. Now, let's obviously put a girl into the mix. It could be girl, boy, boy, boy. Could be boy, girl, boy, boy. It could be boy, boy, girl, girl. I'm sorry, not girl, girl. Girl, boy. What am I trying to do with this whole category here? How many girls are supposed to be in this category? Mind you, this is like one little family thing. Like those are the 4 kids right there. Or those are the 4 kids right there. Or those are the 4 kids right there. This is only supposed to be one girl. That's supposed to be the makeup of that situation. There are 4 possible scenarios for having one girl. The girl could be born first, second, third, or fourth out of a group of 4 kids. Have you guys ever heard anything about personalities on birth order? You haven't heard that? Like the firstborn ends up being the most like parental, you know, or like the youngest ends up being like the comedian, or yeah, the middle child always kind of feels left out almost, you know, something like that, or the most, you know, maybe a little bit more underappreciated, you know, well, like stuff like that. Birth order does matter to an extent. Yeah, it's just the way it is. Now that's a couple scenarios right there. Now I want to write out the rest of them as well. The next one, let's just say there are 2 girls. So it could be girl, boy, boy. It could be boy, girl, boy. It could be boy, girl, girl. It could be girl, boy, boy. It could be girl, boy, girl. It could be boy, girl. Why are there people talking in my hallway? People talking in my hallway. How many do I have so far? I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Let me make sure I hit them all. I'm going to zoom in on this a little. I got to make sure that I hit them all. And the way that I'm going to make sure, I'm going to keep it a secret for now. Haha, yes, I did. Excellent. Those are all the scenarios with 2 girls. Now I got to do the scenario with, I'm going to go to my little next page here. We'll zoom in a little bit. Go to my next page. I'm going to do it with 3 girls. So the girl, boy, girl, boy, girl, boy, girl, boy, girl. And then finally, I'm going to do the scenario with just 4 girls. Boom. This is the point that I'm trying to get to that I really want to exemplify for you right here. If the family is going to have 4 kids, these are all of the possible outcomes that could happen. You could have, now I'm just doing this from the perspective of girls, but you could have no girls. You could have 1 girl, but now it matters on when that girl was born. You could have 2 girls, but again, it matters on when those girls were born. Were they the first 2, the middle 2, the last 2? Were they the first and the third, the first and the fourth, or the second and the fourth? Or you could have a scenario with 3 girls, in which the boy now is either the last, third, second, or first, or you could have a scenario with 4 girls. It's really interesting like that. Again, I talked about my family. My family falls into one particular scenario. My family falls into the scenario of having girl, boy, which is right here. This is my family right there. Can you imagine? I want you to imagine this for a moment. Back in the early 1980s when I was born, sonogram technology did exist. It did, but it was very expensive. So they only did it under like very important circumstances, like if there was a medical issue with the kid or with the mother. So they didn't really do sonograms. So when I was born, it was a legitimate like surprise. They did not know what I was going to be. The story that I heard was that, okay, my mom had a girl, and a girl. So when I was coming along, everyone assumed that I was going to be a girl. Yes. Everyone assumed that I was going to be a girl. To the point where when they started buying like little gifts, it was girl stuff. Yeah. But the thing is, every birth is independent of the next. It's a 50-50 shot every time, no matter what. You're either going to get a boy or a girl, 50-50. I mean, yeah, some people would argue, 51-49. No, let's just go with 50-50. To the point where my name was supposed to be Denise.
Denise.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
You're having a grand old time back there.
Yes, I don't know why.
I know.
Like, oh.
Well, why do you think my name ended up being James Markey Jr.? They were not prepared. They were not prepared. Well, the funny thing was, for my son, when we had the names picked out, my wife had to convince me to go with James Markey III. I didn't really want to do that. You know, we had like 3 or 4 other options, but then she's just like, and I'm like, okay, fine. And we went with that. So now, say again? No, I call him James. Yeah, he can pick his own nickname. You know. No. Anyway, I have other stories, but I'll save those for later. Now, here's the deal. Each of these scenarios, it's really interesting, but each of these scenarios comes down to a basic multiplication of 0.5 times 0.5 times 0.5 times 0.5. Now, hold on. Let me show you what that looks like. Because if you're going to have, I'll zoom in right here on the boy scenario. If you're going to have all boys right here, that is 0.5 times 0.5 times 0.5 times 0.5. Boom! If you're going to have 4 kids, there is a 6.25% chance of having all boys. A 6.25% chance of having all boys. I'm going to write that down. This is equal to 0.0625. Now, the interesting thing is, and I'm going to compare this to the one girl situation right here. I'm going to compare this to the one girl situation. Here's the thing. This string right here of girl, boy, is technically also 0.0625, but I'm not going to write 0.0625 here. Instead, I am going to count all 4 of those scenarios right here as a single event of the family having one girl. Now, again, that girl could be born first, second, third, or fourth. But if you only have one girl, these are the only options because the rest will be boys. Now, like I said, this scenario is 0.5 times 0.5 times 0.5 times 0.5, which gives you that decimal that we wrote up there. But think of it this way, and I need you to listen to my wordage. There is a 6.25% chance that the single girl will be born first, or born second, or born third, or born fourth. What does or imply? In terms of probability, if I'm yelling out that word or, what operation do you need to keep in mind? Addition, which justifies me doing this. If this is a 6.25% chance, and so is this, and so is this, and so is this, that means it justifies me adding them all up, because you said addition, because I said that word or. Absolutely yes. Now, what that really means is this. There is a 25% chance that if the family has 4 kids, that they will have exactly one girl. There is a 25% chance that if the family is going to have 4 kids. Now, mind you, I said if the family has 4 kids. They have to have 4 kids in this. If they have 3 or 5, that doesn't count towards the scenario. We're limiting it to 4 kids because that's what my family was. Or the family that I grew up in, whatever. Now, that logic follows for this scenario. I'll zoom in on this one. Here we go. It follows for this scenario right here. Because if you're going to have 2 girls and 2 boys, then these are the only possible ways that it could happen. And I listed them out. And I made sure that I listed them all out, which is nice. Girl, boy. Just where are the girls appearing? Are they both first, both middle, both last, first and third, second and fourth, first and last? I've got all the scenarios. I know that I have. How many scenarios are there for 2 girls? Yeah, check this out. Now remember, this is 0.5 times 0.5 times 0.5 times 0.5, which is 0.0625. But if I multiply it by 6, I get 0.375. There is a 37.5% chance that if a family has 4 kids, that there will be 2 boys and 2 girls. There's a 37.5% chance. Now, the last 2 scenarios that I have at the bottom of the page, right here, technically we've already done them. This one is similar to that of having 1 girl. There's a 25% chance of that happening. And this scenario is the same thing as having 4 boys, which is a 0.0625, a 6.25% chance. So, I don't know if my family even wanted to have 4 kids at first. I'll tell you this story next. My parents had 3 girls, and they were living in Brooklyn. And they moved down to Barnegat in 1981. And they moved into, I don't even know what they call them. It's like, in Settlers Landing, you know how a lot of the houses look cookie cutter? You know what I'm talking about? Yeah. My parents moved into the 2-story house in Settlers, where it's like you have it's like the front door is right in the middle, and then there's the room off to the right with the garage, and then the room off to the left. And when you go upstairs, it's like they got the room, all the way left, all the way to the right. I don't even know how to describe it. Colonial, whatever. I don't care. But my point being is this. Upstairs in my parents' house, there were 4 bedrooms. 1 for my parents and 1 for my 3 sisters. I'm pretty sure I was an accident. Yeah. No. There were 4 bedrooms. 1 for my parents and then for my sisters. I'm pretty sure I was an accident. Yeah. Oh, Denise. Now, 2 of my sisters ended up sharing a room for a number of years because of me. I was making trouble from the beginning. I was supposed to be a girl. And then I forced 2 of my sisters to share a room.
Did they get a lot of clothes, girl clothes?
I don't know. For me?
Yeah.
Oh, they had to return them all when they found out I was a boy. Yeah. They had to return them all. I know.
They're like, okay, another girl.
I know.
So
I'll tell you one quick story because I guess this is relevant. So when my mom was pregnant with my third sister, her name was supposed to be Denise because my first sister, her name was Dorianne, my second sister was Debbie, and the third one was supposed to be Denise. Okay, that's what my mom wanted to do. My mom, they had like a sprinkle for her when she was pregnant with number 3, my sister, whose name ended up being Elizabeth. My mom's twin sister went up to my dad's mom, I know, weird, and says during the sprinkle, "Oh, if it's another girl, they're going to name her after you." And my mom was like, "What?" So she was stuck naming her Elizabeth. Wait, what's something you didn't expect to hear today? She said that's something I didn't expect to hear today. I want to know what it was. But anyway, so then my mom was saving Denise for me. I know. Anyway, here's what I want you to realize. Look at these numbers up here. All of these, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. If you have, the accident thing. Nice. There are 16 possible configurations of boys and girls if you have 4 kids. Let me repeat that. There are 16 possible configurations if you have 4 kids. What do you think all of these numbers add up to? Okay? 50%? 100%? Let's take a look. I'll zoom in right here. Hold on. Just to show you the evidence behind it. 0.0625 plus 0.25 plus 0.375 plus 0.25 plus 0.0625. Chapow! But 100%. That's the key, though. That's the key, though, towards this. There is a completeness here. There is a completeness here. This shows 100% of all possible cases of having 4 kids in the configuration of boys versus girls. Now, the thing that I showed you last time that I want to show you again is actually over here. Come on, you. Where are you? There it is. I want to bring up this calculator here. Let's see. Come on, calculator. Okay. In all y'all's calculator, which you don't have to break them out now. You don't have to. I just want you to show you this. If you hit second vars, which I'm going to write this stuff down into your notes. Don't worry about that. But if you hit second vars, you come to a screen like this. If you go down, there are these 2 calculations right here called Binom PDF and Binom CDF. I want to show you what each of them does, but let's focus on the PDF. I introduced this to you last time. If you hit enter on Binom PDF, you have this weird looking setup. Trials, probability, X value. Now I'm going to change that probability to 1 divided by 2. But notice the number of trials. Notice the number of trials. In this instance, for the context of what we're dealing with, the number of trials represents the number of kids that my parents were going to have. And the X value could represent, well, in this case, since it's a 50-50 shot, let's just say girls, for the sake of argument, you know? Now, in this case, there's a 50% chance of having a girl. In this case, we'll refer to it as a success, because in probability, with binomials, there is either going to be a success or there's going to be a failure. So let's just say that the 3 girls that my parents had were successes, and let's say that the boy was the failure. Shut up. Anyway, so I'm going to change the X value to 3 because that's the number of girls that my parents ended up having. Now, just for the sake of argument, looking at this right here, zoom out, zoom out, zoom out, having the 3 girls ended up being what percent chance? 25% chance. There was a 25% chance. Sorry, Sky's yelling at me. Sorry. I think she's yelling at me that I called myself a failure. I'm just looking at her comments. Anyway, there's a 25% chance that that my parents would have 3 girls. Now, if I go back to this calculator and hit paste on that calculation, Boom, it calculates a 25% chance. That's exactly what this thing does. It is amazing what this thing can do for you. Now, check this out. I just want you to see this real quick. Look at this. Look at all the work that we did. Look at all the work that we did. Look how long it took the calculator to do this. Right? No. I did this for a couple reasons. Number one, I want you to appreciate what the calculator can do for you. Number two, I want you to understand what the calculator's doing. That's what it's doing. It's actually figuring out those calculations. What we did on paper, it can do in a matter of moments, but that's exactly what it's doing. Now check that. I can change this to anything. Watch, hold on. Second, enter. I'll change the 3 to a 0, meaning they had no girls. What was the percent chance? Again, I'm not going to show my paper. Maybe you can remember. Do you remember what the percent chance was of having no girls? 0.0625. Watch this. It does it. It does it automatically. That's what it does, though. It's amazing what this thing can do. I can even go all the way up to, check this out, 4 girls in 4 tries. Yeah, it does it all. It does it all. All right, so back in our notes. I want to show you what this thing does for Binom PDF. So in our notes, first of all, the binomial in your calculator has 2 choices, PDF and CDF. It has 2 choices initially. It has PDF and CDF, and I'm going to show you how to do both of them. PDF. Oh, no, sorry. Click. PDF gives you the chance of exactly X successes. It gives you the chance of exactly X successes. CDF, move this up a little bit more. There we go. CDF gives you the chance of X or less successes. The way that I try to remember with the CDF, I try to remember the C as the word cumulative. Cumulative is like all-encompassing, all together. Cumulative is taking something like this. Actually, you know what? I'll write it in my notes. I'm going to write it in my notes. Cumulative, for example, would be something like, here we go. No girls, 1 girl, 2 girl, 3 girl, 4 girl, which in this case, I'm going to separate all of those. Having a no girl. Oh, it froze like my heart. Here we go. No girl is 0.0625, 0.25 for 1 girl, 0.375 for 2 girls, 0.25 for 3 girls, and 0.0625 for 4 girls. There we go. So if I chose the binomial CDF, it would basically be like this. Okay, I would type into the calculator something like binom CDF 4 trials, you have a 50% chance of success, and give me a number that's not 0. Say again? No, I'm sorry. Give me a girl that's not 0 or 4 amongst this list of girls. Okay, so 2 girls. Okay, cool. So if I did something like this, check this out. If I did binom CDF, which means it's the chance of X or less successes, and you told me to pick 2 in this case, it would take the probability of getting 2 girls plus the probability of getting 1 girl plus the probability of getting no girls. It would basically add those up in a cumulative fashion. That's what it would do. Now, just for the sake of argument, I don't know, hold on, 0.375, 0.25, 0.0625, 57, I want to see if this works. 11, 18, 5, 6, boom, 0.6875. That's weird. Now I'm going to have the calculator prove this to me in a moment. Hold on. Let's go back to the calculator. Chapow! I would have to do second vars binom CDF, 4 trials, 50% chance, 2 successes based on what you told me, the X value. Boom. That's exactly what it does, though. It takes the probability of getting 2 successes, 1 success, and no success, and adds them all up. That's what the cumulative function does. I want you to see that. It's amazing. So, going back right here. Yeah. I'm going to stand up here and say this because it's so important. I wasn't going to say anything. I was hoping that someone would figure that out. But what he just said, for those of you in the chat and for those of you in the class, he says that these numbers kind of resemble, now I'm going to put words in your mouth, a normal curve. They represent a normal curve where it's like that. That's exactly what it is. Now, the only reason that happens is because of that 50-50 shot. That is the only reason why that happens. Because of the 50-50 shot of the boy versus girl. If it were not a 50-50 shot, it would not look like that. So you would get that scenario with that normal curve with probability of boy versus girl, flipping a coin, things like that. But you would not get that with other distributions, unfortunately. With other distributions, the split may be like, 10% versus 90% instead of 50-50. Or 25% versus 75%, which is obviously not 50-50. Now, in the end, binomial distributions might end up looking like that. Or on the opposite side, they may end up looking skewed, but they're not going to look perfectly normal. There's no telling what it may or may not look like. It depends on what your probability of success is. And now here's the kicker. Depending on where that peak is, that is most likely your probability of success. In our case, for the boy-girl, 50-50, it was in the middle. But for here, it'd be like maybe 25-75. Farther to the left. So weird, I know. But that's not the purpose of today. The purpose of today is to get into formulas. Excitement. Okay, so in a binomial, you need to type in the following dot, dot, dot. If you go to the binomial, whether it be PDF or CDF, it does not matter. Come on, you. They have you put in three things: trials, P, and X value. Now, I'm going to call it N. N meaning number of trials. Number of trials. In the case of my family, they were going to have 4 kids. Let's just pretend they wanted to. But they were going to have 4 kids, so there were 4 trials. P is the probability of success. Now, I did make the joke earlier about me not being a success, but in reality, for these distributions, there is always going to be a probability of success and a probability of failure. That's why they call it, first of all, binomial, because when you think binomial, it's either one or the other. Now, when I say success, I'm not referring to a good or bad thing. A success for binomials is referencing what you were looking to happen, what you were hoping to happen, what you were identifying as happening, or something along those lines. So, for example, flipping a coin. If I could do heads versus tails, there's no saying like heads is right or tails is right. If I say, okay, I'm looking for the probability of this many tails happening, then I'm going to consider the probability of tails being the success, because that's what I was looking to happen. That's what I was looking for. And then finally, X, in this case, which is the number of successes. These are the 3 things that you have to type into a binomial: the number of trials, the probability of success, and the number of successes. All right. My son is virtual learning this week, and my wife is sending me updates, and it's quite cute and hilarious. Hold on. I'm going to try and put a picture up here. Hopefully my phone won't die. Hold on. Where'd it go? There it is. This is my son on the first day of virtual learning. You see what he's wearing? Pikachu pajamas. Yeah. His bedroom is really sweet. It's set up in such a way where it's a loft bed. He's got like a little couch underneath of it that he can read on. But then he has like a little desk set up. It's really nice. Anyway. I'm in a rare mood today. Maybe because I called myself a failure. Yeah. I don't know. Rare form. Oh, goodness gracious. So, let's say that I am rolling a die. Rolling a die. And I don't know. Let's say that I'm going to roll it. Let's say I'm going to roll it 10 times. Roll it 10 times. What is the probability of rolling a 3 exactly 5 times? Yes. Now, here's the thing. I want to be very clear about something. The problem may not always use the word exactly. I'm just doing that for this example. The problem might only infer that it's exactly that many successes. And we have to read into those details. But in this case, as he just said, yes, this is the PDF that we are looking at. PDF is exactly that many successes. CDF is that many successes or less. In this case, this would be binom PDF. I'm rolling it 10 times, so there are 10 trials. There is a 1 in 6 chance. There's a 1 in 6 chance of me getting a 3 on any one roll. And I'm looking to get 5 successes exactly. I'm looking to get 5 successes exactly. Now, check out this garbage that I'm about to write on the board. Okay, getting a 3 exactly 5 times. It's either a success or a failure, right? So you could have like, I don't know, I'm gonna, you could have a success, and then failure. You could have success, failure. You have success, failure, success. Failure. If you notice in each line of writing that I've done so far, there's only 5 S's. The S stands for success. Is that a 1 and 2 or 1 of? Oh, I apologize. The glare is in the way. Move that over a little bit. It was a 1 in 6. I apologize because there's a 1 in 6 chance of rolling a 3. But anyway, look at this stuff. Look at this. Success, failure, success. How long am I going to be up here if I had to write that all out by hand? Quite a stinking while. Now, there are ways of calculating this stuff without having to write that stuff out, but you still technically calculate it by hand, which still takes a while. That's not something that I teach Prob Stat. It's something I teach AP. But not how to write all that stuff out, but how to actually do like the formula calculation and not just the binom thing. But it's so much easier if you just recognize, oh, it's exactly that many successes. Come on, you. Exactly that many successes in 10 trials. Oh, I'm in PDF. Good. 1 divided by 6. And I'm getting 5 successes. Exactly 5 successes. There it is. That's literally it right there. Recognizing how to construct the binomial based on the word problem, because yes, there will be a ton of word problems during this. 0.013. Now, what's really interesting about this binomial distribution is like, if there's a 1 in 6 chance, hold on, 1 divided by 6 times 10, you wouldn't expect that many 5 3s. You would expect maybe what, 1 or 2 3s. You know what I'm saying? Check this out. Second, enter 2. Change it to exactly 2. There's a higher chance of that happening. What if I wanted to get 10 out of 10? 10 out of 10. Oh, wow, that's not likely to happen at all. This scenario, if I were to actually graph it out like we talked about before, this scenario would resemble this being, getting 0 successes and getting 10 successes, and this one being down around 2 or something like that. That's what we would expect to happen. I love this stuff so much. Now, like I said, I am going to be, hold on. Word problems. She don't like word problems. I am going to be assigning something today in regards to probability, just to kind of keep our minds focused on that. I am going to be talking a little bit more about the binomial and hopefully geometric distributions when we come back from break. And then after that, there should only be one more concept in Prob Stat that I'm going to teach you. Hopefully it's in regards to the linear regression, but we'll deal with that when the time comes. We're really coming up near the end. Are you sad? I'm sad. Oh. Yeah. I know. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to teach everything that I wanted to teach because we're only seeing you guys once a week. But Say la vie. Such is life. Anyway, bell's going to be ringing in about 5 seconds. So y'all have a good day. Everyone wish Andrew a happy birthday. No? Destiny literally said no. Say happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
Oh, you do? That's awesome. Thank you. You too. See you guys. Have a good one. All right. See you guys online. Bye-bye.